Awesome. So here I am. I'm joined by Nikhil, and Nikhil is now 10 pounds lighter. He's dropped his BMI and he's feeling much more energized. So, Nikhil, thank you for hopping on and letting me ask you a few questions.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah.
Awesome. So, why don't you first just start by telling us a bit more about yourself, like high level background?
So about myself.
Yeah.
Yes, I live in Philadelphia, and then so my background basically I'm an energy trader. So my work involves kind of working on laptops and mostly kind of sitting. And then so my yeah, I mean so generally in the past I used to like work very late, like some of the days in the months I used to work until like 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. My food schedule was very off, there was no kind of limit on the protein, like very limited protein, as I'm vegetarian. Also, I don't eat lots of vegetarians, like vegetable food, I don't eat mushrooms or broccoli. So it was even harder to kind of catch up on the protein, and I used to eat lots of fried food, like puris or kind of bhujia and stuff. And so yeah, since we started working with you, I mean things have been different. I mean, so there's a rhythm that we follow. And then that's been kind of helping a lot. Yeah.
And on that, so you told us of the biggest problems were that you didn't have that eating schedule, you found it difficult to hit the protein targets, being vegetarian. And so what would you say had you tried before we started working with each other?
Uh, I mean, even what I tried was minimal. I used to kind of still eat lots of stuff, like less oil and probably those stuff, but still probably I was very off in the protein intake. And I didn't used to drink water much. I mean, so probably I don't know, it used to be probably like half a liter or a liter. But then, yeah, I started with your kind of what was that few week
Time.
challenge on LinkedIn, and then that was really helpful. I mean, that okay, you log every day, like how many steps did you get and how much water and how much protein, and then check the weight. So that was really helpful, and that's what we got introduced and kind of talked. Say, okay, let's start the journey together, and yeah.
Yeah. And what would you say you love the most about this coaching and why do you think it worked well for you?
I think the most important part for me was it's kind of consistent encouragement. I mean, again, I know okay, these things need to be done, but then you try it for 1 week and 2 weeks and you don't see much results, and you say, oh, is it going to work? Or maybe my body's like that it won't, even if I do something, it won't it won't work, or I won't lose weight, or I mean the belly fat won't go away. But then you have been kind of very encouraging. Oh, let's keep on the process and we'll see the results. And I think that did help. And you kind of customize the kind of the meal plans or help with anything like, okay, if there is in travel plans, I mean, you help like, okay, how to plan during those conferences or something. So yeah, all those things together kind of did help to kind of achieve, I mean, so the goal was to kind of lose probably like 10 pounds and get BMI below 25. And I think, yeah, we are there now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And how do you feel like we know you got the results and then dropping the 10 pounds of BMI. How do you feel differently to before when we started?
It feels different. It feels that more energetic. You feel stronger. I mean, I do go to the gym classes like every day, and I know like water intake is good. So now I know like few years back when I had my the cholesterol, so one of those HDL numbers was high. So I feel, I mean, I didn't get the test recently, but I'm sure those numbers will look much better now. I
Yeah,
think clothes look better now for sure. I mean, with a lesser bed tummy and
yeah,
stuff. So yeah, that does feel good for sure.
that's good. And what do you feel you're most proud of about yourself for sticking to this?
No, yeah, I feel yeah. I mean, so it's more like okay, feeling doing the process, going through the process, be more consistent day to day, and following kind of diet and stuff, and follow the certain rules. And sometimes it feels frustrating that, oh, are you going to get the results, or maybe your body's like that. So, but yeah, I mean, having someone to kind of navigate you through did really help. That okay, no, let me keep trying and it will happen. Or even worse, I mean, even if it doesn't happen in the worst case, you still are doing good things, right? eating healthy
Yeah.
food, drinking more water. Like, so that was more like my intention. Okay, even if it doesn't work, I mean, whatever I'm doing is good for my health and for, yeah. So kept on trying, and you kept on kind of pushing through and making sure that, yeah, things are in line.
Yeah. And what would you say is the most important lesson that you learned about yourself?
I think being consistent is important. I mean, so sometimes we expect results too soon, or probably, and every person is different. Maybe somebody can do this for 2 weeks and see some results, and somebody might need 4 weeks. And same thing goes for other things in life, right? I mean, somebody can achieve something much sooner, and for someone it takes more time. So it's more like, okay, be consistent in what you want to do, and then keep doing, and then you'll get it if you have the right direction. Yeah.
Yeah. And what hesitations, if any, did you have before joining this program?
I think so. It was main like, okay, so I'm following these rules. I mean, I'll try to do on my own, and probably that will work out. But uh, yeah, so I think the biggest thing was like, okay, I mean, if you try on your own, I mean, I don't know if for maybe small percentage of people it might be possible, but it's more about the encouragement or kind of willingness that, okay, it will happen, and then you don't give up. So I mean, following a routine is okay. I mean, anybody can do it. I mean, people have that much kind of what do you call willpower, but then continuing to do it until you find the results, I think that's the main challenge. And that's where a coach like you is kind of helps to keep guiding and say, oh, keep on doing it, and you'll see the results. And yeah,
Yeah.
you'll finally get it. Yeah.
And what would you say you would miss the most if we didn't have this coaching at all?
So if you didn't have this one, like, I don't think I would. I mean, I would have probably. I don't know. I mean, I might have continued, but I would have. I don't know how much I would have continued doing these regime of like kind of food and water, because then I'll see, oh, there's no results. So I mean, it would reduce the motivation. And then once it reduced, I mean, it's all about keeping yourself motivated and to pursue your goal, right? I mean, so I think that was a big thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you didn't have this coaching, where do you think you'd be today?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so I would have probably given up. Like, okay, I don't know if it's possible to lose like 10 pounds and get to like BMI below 25. So I might have still have tried, might have gone below, but yeah, not as fast as we did this time. Yeah.
It's and then building that structure and routine. That's the main thing because how we drop the weight is how we keep it off in the long run. But now you already know about optimal meal times, the best exercise, cardio steps, water, everything, and the travel, business travel. We've
Yeah.
been working on it, and the upcoming trip to India as well, planning for that, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, this helps. I mean, so because lots of time, so now the routine is more different. Right? I mean, so before it used to be, oh yeah, okay, eat healthy food. You have to think about it. It's more like now you have to think about eating unhealthy food, right? I mean, so even if I go to somebody's place, right, it's more like, oh no, I'm used to eating more healthy food now. I have to eat this thing. So it's it's other way around now.
Oh, that's awesome. It's such a mindset. That's beautiful. And
Yeah.
imagine there was somebody watching this and they were interested in having a call with me, but they were on the fence. What is it that you would say to them?
I think it does help to have somebody coach you or guide you through that, who has gone through this process and help others. I mean, so it's all about the motivation. I mean, so you can do start with small things, but then if you want to achieve, I mean, I don't know if I could have achieved this probably in few more months, or I don't know, or if there were some other barriers. But yeah, for sure, if you want to, you have some goals and you want to achieve it. I mean, it's good to work with someone who can help through and guide through the way. Yeah.
Yeah, and how do you feel this helps, especially with the South Asian food as well? Because that's one of the biggest things, like
Mhm.
navigating that, right?
Yeah,
Versus
I mean,
like
so
going,
right, yeah, that's true. I mean, so I mean, if you work with I mean, so since you understand like, okay, what's there in like in different dals, or and you can, I'm a vegetarian, so I have limited options. So you still could recommend some things which are still like high in protein, and kind of have in the vegetarian options. That was, I think, really good, because if you look online or talk to someone like, let's say, from Philly, or I mean, they'll have different options. And I mean, and I mean, there might be good options, but again, you should like the food that you eat too, right? I mean, it's not like you eat something. I mean, that's where I mean consistency comes through. You enjoy what you do, right? I mean, it's not like I can eat something like, oh, you say, okay, you eat some grilled mushrooms or something which I don't like for, I can eat for a few days, but I don't can't eat for 3 months, right? So,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
more like that, yeah.
exactly. Fitting into what you enjoy. Awesome, perfect. Well, thank you, Nikhil. This is just the start of your journey, so looking forward to everything progress, especially after how the trip to India goes, and even after that as well. So, thank you.
Yeah, sounds good. No, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time and effort. Yeah.
Awesome.